the whole way that you are selling has changed dramatically, in my opinion. And I don't think it's going to go back to the old way of selling.
Welcome to the Forecast, folks. Molly St. Louis here, and today we're going to discuss the evolution of sales activity with Sapphire Ventures President Jay Dawes and share some key data that you won't want to miss. So let's get down to it. Through our many conversations with enterprise sales leaders this year, we've heard a similar theme when it comes to top-of-funnel prospects, and that is customer due diligence. The idea that customers are trying to glean as much information as they can about a product well before they speak with a sales rep. This could be in the form of engaging with content, asking questions to a chatbot, or experimenting with a free trial. This circuitous customer journey is nothing new, but it's only been increasing since the quarantine. On a previous discussion on the Forecast, HubSpot's Megan Keeney Anderson shared a study of over 70,000 businesses whose website traffic and educational content saw major spikes months into the quarantine. According to revenue growth experts like Jay Dawes, this is one reason why teams should be doubling down on trends like product-led growth. So let's hear what he has to say. Jay, thank you for joining us on the Forecast.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here.
Given everything that's changed in the last year, what are the best revenue teams doing to stay competitive?
So, I think from revenue ops, what people are trying to figure out, and Clari is kind of in the forefront of this, is how do you enable your sales reps to go and talk to your customers, talk to your to the SEs, and bring them all together in a virtual environment and have them sell together, right? And then for the the VPs and the CROs and the people managing these teams, is how do they understand how is the productivity kind of these sales teams, like what are the indicators that these sales teams are actually making progress. That has become much more difficult.
Are there any specific tactics that are working better than others right now?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that has happened is definitely, we have this term called product-led growth, right? Where you allow the customer to kind of do their due diligence, kind of do their the POV, as you call it, online all by itself, and you kind of help them along, but you don't kind of be there constantly, and then make sure that you understand, okay, this customer is ready to actually buy, and then just get the sales teams to kind of activate the sales team and close the deal, right? And that has changed in the way, and that's where AI ML plays a lot of importance, because now you have a lot of other sensors in your product, in the way the customer is behaving with the product, how many times they're coming to the website. And based on that, you can understand, okay, this is the right moment that this customer is ready to buy. And this is really the appropriate time when you should start talking to the customer about how do you create an ROI, how do the customer goes and takes to their manager to get the budget to bring in the product, right? So I think in that way, the whole way that you are selling has changed dramatically, in my opinion. And I don't think it's going to go back to the old way of selling, where you have a kind of a deployment, you bring in somebody to do a POV, and then kind of go and sell to them.
This idea that the customer is researching more heavily before they engage with a sales rep has been a hot topic over the last 9 months. Let's check out some of the data with our Clari expert, Kevin Yao.
Hi, everyone. As mentioned, one of the things that we're seeing is that revenue teams are relying on data more and more than ever. COVID-19, remote selling are only things that are helping to accelerate this trend. And one of the things we're seeing is that reps and managers, they're not really traveling to customers as much. And so they require better tools and better data to remain more productive. So let's give an example of how data can help impact your sales team. Analysis we've done using 6 Sense intent data shows that customers who are in the purchase or decision buying phase are actually 2 times more likely to take a meeting with you versus if they're in the awareness or consideration phase. Intent signals are surging during this phase as customers do pre-purchase research, which helps sales teams hone in on accounts that are more likely to produce results versus accounts that aren't. And this is just one great example among many of how integrating data, in this case, activity data, into your sales process can help to increase forecast accuracy and predictability in the business. Good luck to all the sellers out there. Back to you, Molly.
Thanks, Kevin. So Jay, as this customer journey is becoming more complex, do you think revenue leaders that have access to comprehensive sales data have an advantage?
Yes, absolutely. Because, the funny thing is that, I've been investing for almost 20 years now. Sales leaders always went with the gut, right? I think they would say, okay, I know this deal is going to close. I know that deal is not going to close. They're going to say, oh, this AE is better than that AE. This sales engineer is better than, and when you look at all the data that shows about people's biases, you would say, and you look at the, when people analyze these kind of way that sales teams used to operate, revenue teams used to operate, you would find that they really were making a lot of mistakes, right? And I think what has happened is that, as we get to this point where, in my mind, I think sales and revenue operations is kind of being revolutionized right now, right? Like just like everything before has been data driven, I think revenue operations, revenue, the way you go to market, the way you do renewals, the way you do customer support, is getting much, much more data driven because you have a lot more data, right? And you have more insight because of the SaaS model, where before when you deployed a software in somebody's data center or somebody's premises, you didn't really get any information. But now that you have so much data coming your way from your applications and the telemetry you build in, it has to be kind of, made, the operations has to be very data driven.
What is your forecast for the near-term economic future?
Look, I've seen three recessions now, right? I saw 2001, 2008, and this one was definitely the shortest. Kind of, it went down and went up in like a month and a half. Look, I think entrepreneurs are nimble, companies are nimble, and I'm optimistic. That's why I'm a venture capitalist, right? I think we're going to come out of this stronger. That had happened in every recession I've been through, or every kind of a downturn I've been through. And I think lots of exceptional tech companies are going to come out of this.
Access to sales activity data and the ability to easily draw actionable insights is becoming increasingly critical in this all-remote selling environment. Thanks to our expert Jay Das for the bird's eye view, and thanks to all of you for joining us. Catch us next time, and until then, stay healthy, stay focused, and stay connected.